Hey everybody, we're going to take a look at my vocal production from a song that I was playing in one of my earlier videos. And this really came from a question from another viewer, Milch and stuff. And I thought it was kind of an interesting question because I don't really think of it this way. But the question was, is it a vocoder or just heavy auto tune? And the truth is that I find vocoders interesting in very specific settings, but I use auto-tune for almost everything to get a similar effect. So the answer is it's auto-tune. And what I want to do tonight is just go through the 3 steps that I'm using all the time for this style of vocal production. So step number 1 is to set the actual recording, the channel strip, to be just how you want it. So that's what I did first. I set the pitch correction plugin on here first. I set it to, in this case, A natural minor scale. So you can actually get the exact scale you're going to use. And I set the response to fast, or pretty much 0. Then when I recorded it, I had this EQ on here with a boost, a cut, and then a low roll off here. The shelf pulled all the way down. Actually, it's a high pass filter. Then I had compressor on here, and that is, let's see how much it's doing. So doing just a little bit, shaving off the top. Step number 2 is to actually create the harmony. So I always start with one part, and I sing it through this, record it, get it just how I want it. I usually do take folders. I've already merged the first 2 down, but I'll show you the third one in a minute. Let's just listen to this first part that I recorded. Let's skip ahead to where it is.
The sun is always spinning round and round from the ground, from the ground. The sun is all.
From there, I started adding parts.
The sun is always spinning round and round from the ground.
I started panning it out right away just to give me some separation. Here's the third part.
The sun is always spinning round and round from the ground.
And let me just let you hear a few of the early takes.
The sun is always spinning round and round. The sun is always spinning round and round.
And I'm going through singing different things until I hit something that I like.
The sun is always spinning round. The sun is always spinning round and round.
And then it starts to kind of lock in.
The sun is always spinning round and round from the ground.
Still needs some editing, but I like the overall structure of it. So let's do the flatten and merge. That's what it looks like. Okay, moving on from that, what we have then is phase number 3. So I've got the part all figured out just by trial and error and improvisation, and then hearing what I like. Then I came through, or really I'm starting to in this case, but let's scroll this up. Let's listen to this one for a second.
The sun is always spinning round and round.
So there's a little warble there, just in that one section. I like most of this, or it's fine when it's with all the other parts, but there's one part that really sticks out. So I turn on flex pitch right here, and I come through and I start editing this down. So this is my phase number 3. Let's turn off the follow.
The sun is always spinning round and round.
So we need to figure out where these go. And let's turn down the vibrato so it locks in the pitch a little bit. Pull this one up. And let's match these ones. Not sure where that one's going to sit, but let's figure it out in a second here. That one's definitely going to go down to C. Let's flatten it out just a little.
The sun is always spinning round
Okay, so we went the wrong way. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
The sun is always spinning round and round.
Put it with all the other ones.
The sun is always spinning round and round.
And that's what I'll do through the whole thing, is just find these troubled spots with the flex pitch and start to get them tightened in. And I've started this process, but I'm not done with it yet.
The sun is always spinning round and round. From the ground. The sun is...
That last little part was a fourth part that I recorded using Auto-Tune as well.
From the ground.
And I've already done some of the tightening, as you can see here. Nothing ever looks that perfect unless it's been tightened.
From the ground.
And pulled a little bit on the formants there to give it that more laser-like sound. Okay, so that's the final phase of this. Phase 1, setting up the channel strip, recording. Phase 2, getting all the parts figured out while recording. Step 3, editing it and fine-tuning this in flex pitch. Okay, so those are the phases I'm using for this style. I hope you enjoyed this little look into that, and I will talk to you later.
Always spinning round and round. From the ground. The sun is always spinning round and round. From the ground. I turn around and see the tears upon your face.